And we are live. I wanted to pop in just a minute early to make sure that we are connected and that you guys can hear me good. So if there is anyone in right now, let me know if you can hear me okay. That will be great. It is 6 o'clock. I did get a notification that our guest is running just a tad bit behind, but she will be here, and we are super excited to have her. So I see there's someone in. If you can hear me okay, just let me know that you can hear me okay. Give me a thumbs up or something. Okay, awesome. Awesome. So here we go. Good evening, right? Facebook family, and welcome to another collaborative conversations. Um, collaborative conversations is brought to you by Creative on Purpose, and I thank you guys for being here. Hi, Latasha. Hi, thank you for joining us. Hope you're well this evening. So, collaborative conversations are professional chats among nonprofit organization leaders and community organization leaders and black business owners. We are reaching out and we are checking in to those that are serving our communities despite our society's ebbs and flows, right? So, a little bit about Creative on Purpose. That is our nonprofit organization, and I am Kashonda Marche, the founder and executive director of Creative on Purpose, also known as KOP. And as mentioned, we are a nonprofit organization and we provide mental wellness tools. Mental wellness tools. We are not a mental health organization, but we provide mental wellness tools to women and girls everywhere. And yes, I said everywhere, because the truth is, mental health does matter, right? And no one should be left without resources of some kind. So we here at KOP created collaborative conversations for three distinct reasons. Number one, we want to check in on the folks, providing the services to and within our communities around the world. Like our featured guest for tonight, we are reaching New York City. We're based in Raleigh, North Carolina right now, and we are in New York right now, waiting for our guests to arrive. And so, yeah, nonprofit leaders, again, community organization leaders, black business owners, they out here doing their thing. And we just want to conversate with them and just check in with them and find out how they're doing and how did they get to where they are from where they came from where they started, right? So we'll get to hear how they've gotten through some of the adversities that plague our society. Um, Reason number two why we created collaborative conversations. It will allow Creative on Purpose not just to check in, but also get to know our fellow organizations out here putting in the good work to build stronger communities, and vice versa. They'll get to know us. And number three, to share with you, our community members, the outstanding work that these individuals have been able to accomplish, right? Despite the disparities that we all know exist. Uh, Basically, let it be known across the globe that you are not alone. And then the bonus reason is to get your ass off autopilot, right? We have to stop allowing society to dictate our sense of being, right? We have to create our sense of being for ourselves. We have to get to know ourselves. We have to get to know who it is that we want to be in the world. How do we want to show up in the world, and become confident in that, right? And stop allowing, circumstances and diagnoses and such to kind of paint the picture of who we are. Paint your own damn picture, okay? Paint your own picture. So I want you guys to get yourselves comfy. I will be checking in to see if our guest has arrived. Let me see if I hit that. Okay. All right, so not yet, which is cool. Not yet, which is cool. So I guess I could just fill you guys in on a little bit about what Creative on Purpose is up to right now. We are, we have, and we are still developing workshops and creating panel discussions to be able to provide you guys with tools that will help in that build up of self, to help you become stronger in your sense of self. We hit in our 4 core values, which are self-love, self-belief, self-respect, and self-care, which are important. Hello, Thamicha. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're well this evening. So yeah, we want to provide these, wellness, mental wellness tools to help keep our minds strong, right? That's important, to keep our minds strong, because we all know that, there are days when we just want to give up, give up on what we're pursuing, give up on who we're trying to become, in several cases in my own personal life, give up on life, I remember a time when I didn't know myself very well. I didn't know myself at all, actually. And the most profound part of it is I didn't know that this, being on live with you guys and having guests on and even having Creative on Purpose, I didn't know that could be. I didn't know. There was a time when I didn't think I had a future, right? And in relevance to our guest this evening, I've been living with HIV for over 25 years. And so we talking, back in the 90s when I found out about my diagnosis, and it was a time when, shit was real but unreal, if you know what I mean. It was real but unreal. And so I lived, under the shadow, behind the shadow of a diagnosis for most of my adult life. And so I didn't know that I could be this. I didn't know that I could reach out and help others. I didn't know that I could create an organization to be able to provide wellness tools, things that I've learned, things that I've trained for. I'm also a North Carolina peer support specialist. And our role in people's lives are to help them along their journey. Use our own life experiences to help others along their journey. And I tell you, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing. So I encourage you to get to know yourself. Do not allow society to dictate who it is that you are, who it is that you want to become. And to also just reiterate that our past does not define nor dictate our future. Okay? So I see that our guest has arrived. I am, as you can tell, super, super excited. So let me go ahead and try to get her in here if I know what I'm doing on Facebook Live. This technology, y'all, is bugging me out. But let's successful. Woo, baby. Let me get in frame now that I know I'm sharing the box. How are you, my dear, beautiful Black queen?
Oh my God, I am exhausted.
Yeah.
Tired. but I am good. I am great. I rushed to get here so that I could try to be on time, but I didn't realize how close I was cutting it. But
It's
I
cool.
am here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm
Hey,
always
mi-
honored to share space with you.
oh,
How are you today?
I am good. I am good. I definitely can relate to the exhaustion. I definitely can relate to cutting it close. I definitely, can relate to all of these things because when you're out here moving and shaking, these are things that are a part of the territory. Okay, so
Absolutely.
I was just filling our viewers in on a little bit about creative on purpose and collaborative
Come
conversation.
over a little bit, Kush, because I can't see you. So,
You know,
if you could move your or twist your camera so that you could be centered, because you're not centered. We're
yeah,
seeing half of
me,
your body because the screen split.
yeah, girl, let me get it together because I'm sharing space
Perfect.
and being in
Perfect.
this wheelchair
Perfect.
don't help none, but we all right. We getting there.
Oh, you
How's that?
perfect. You're
How's
great.
that? Okay, you look great. I don't want to diminish that. So
Oh,
let me talk a little bit about you because today is all about you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being our featured guest for this evening here at Creative on Purpose. So, you guys, let's welcome Thamicha Isaac. She is the CEO and founder of Openly Positive. She is an HIV activist and advocate. Okay. Thamicha was diagnosed with HIV at the age of 19 years old. After accepting her diagnosis and turning her pain into power, Thamicha started her search for her purpose. And on her search, she became an HIV testing counselor, a risk reduction counselor, a client centered counselor, a transgender ally, who, a PrEP counselor, and she can let us know a little bit more about PrEP. And she's also a transitional life coach. She earned all of her state credentials from the New Jersey Department of Health at Rutgers Training Facility in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Hey, New Jersey, hometown. She is a BCLA alumni. Miss Isaac was coached and trained by Lakeisha Dixon, the breakthrough strategist. Now, often called upon to share her testimony of strength and resilience and courage and transformation, Thamicha is making a name for her cause through living and speaking her truth as an openly positive Black Caribbean woman living in America with her handsome sons. And yes, they are very handsome. So, Miss Isaac has dedicated this part of her life, okay, to be a voice for people affected and living with HIV in hopes that it can bring someone else strength, comfort, and letting them know they are not alone in their fight against the stigma that surrounds HIV and AIDS. And we're going to let her get into a little bit more about that. Girl, your
I don't know who
extensive bio.
bio you just read, but she
Girl, that
sounds
is you.
phenomenal.
That is all you, baby. And I salute you. I want to thank you for your work with the HIV community because as you know, that is near and dear to me. So tell us a little bit. Tell us a little bit how you got to live that extensive bio of yours, starting, from receiving such a heavy diagnosis. How did you get here?
Oh my God. So where do I begin?
Yeah.
Um, 3 years ago, actually, um, this journey of the person that you see before you begun, right? I had a wonderful job. I worked in the hotel industry for many years,
Mm.
and I lost that job. I lost that job because I thought in the moment I was sharing space with someone who I thought I would give them or lend them some inspiration through my story and through my lived experience. And that person took that and they did not receive it as an inspiration. They took it rather as I am a disease infected person and I should not be working in a public space.
Mm.
And I was let go. Of course, through the technical things and the lawsuit that was coming after that, they definitely worded things differently, but I knew that that was the reason why I was let go. And my life took a drastic turn after that. After losing my job, I lost my apartment, I lost my home. So me and my two kids were homeless. And we lived in a hotel, we lived in my car, we lived at my cousin's basement. Um, it was a moment of transition for me, right? I guess what some people would say I was cocooning at that time to transform into this butterfly that I am now. And in that moment, I knew that I, I had to set myself free, right? I had to set myself free from the stigmas. I had to set myself free so like that, not only would I not repeat that ever again,
Mm.
but someone else, that this doesn't have to happen to someone else. So I came on a Facebook Live such as this one, and I just told my story.
Yeah.
And the only way to go from the bottom when you at rock bottom is up.
Yeah.
And for me, that's a snippet of my journey of reaching to this place,
Mm.
right? Taking something that was created to destroy me
Mm.
and someone using that against me, knowing the effects that it have on people like me. But God had better plans because the stone that they sent for me, I took them and built stairs so that I could climb into my house.
Ooh, powerful, powerful. Yes, I love that. Taking the stone that was meant to destroy you and using that to build steps. Girl, that is powerful. You know, from the moment I met you, which wasn't that long ago, right? I knew you were just an amazing person. I knew that you were an amazing woman. And I'm like, yeah, I can get to know her, because you encounter some people in life that you just ain't trying to, you can't F's with them. You know what I'm saying? And you just let that be. You just let that be. But I knew that there was something really, really special in you. Because again, I could relate to receiving that diagnosis. I too was diagnosed at 19, just like you. And for most of my adult life, like I was saying to our viewers earlier before you came on, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know that I could become um, a box, on Facebook Live, with someone and sharing conversation and just sharing my journey. You know what I mean? I didn't know I can be that. So I definitely can relate to that. And I think that, you're just an amazing and strong and courageous and all of those beautiful things. And I just encourage you to keep going, keep at it, honey. So when did it get when did it get real for you? When did you realize that, like, you had to speak up, you had to reach out to help others, and just become this entity um, of what you are now and who you are now and your organization, Openly Positive? When did that become real for you?
So, truth be told, when I got diagnosed at 19, I knew then and then that my HIV diagnosis was not for me. It was for me to liberate others and to help others. But I I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. And every time the opportunity would present itself for me to rise up to the occasion and do the task that I was created for, because things don't happen to us by chance. Things happen to us because it's supposed to happen to us. The things that we're going through and go through in life, it's either to teach us a lesson or to bring us a blessing, right? And for many people, my view on HIV and their view may differ. For many, they view HIV as a death sentence, and for them, it's a curse, and they live that curse. For me, my perspective on it is this was a blessing, because it introduced me to me, and it forced me to learn who I really am and what is my purpose on this earth, because we all have a purpose on this earth. So at 19, I already knew that I had to be speaking up and speaking out to encourage, to bring inspiration, and to educate people, right? But for a very long time, I strayed from that calling. I strayed from that purpose because I was never ready. I was never gonna be ready. So God had to strip me for my spiritual people, because that's the only way I could express it, because to me, that's how I see it, right? I had to be stripped of everything that kept me comfortable in order for me to step into my purpose. Yeah. And that was the only way for him to do it. Although I was pretty upset and mad at the way of how I came into my purpose, I now realize that if it wasn't done that way, would I be openly positive Thamicha Isaac today? I don't think I would. I think I would be still closeted or sharing, but with a very small few. And with stories like ours, with inspirational stories, because we're the true motivators. You know, there's people out here making $1 million off of stories that's great, but not as impactful as ours, and they monetize that. And here we are viewing ourselves so minute that we will go to a CBO or ASO and we will talk for that $50. We will talk for that $25, because sometimes we just need just that to just get by, right? And me having this mindset now and coming into this Thamicha that you guys have come to know now, I am no longer comfortable getting that $50. You're going to pay me for my story, because if my color was a different shade, you will pay them their worth, and you will pay them for their stories. So for me, my perspective on my life, period, now is completely different than the young lady that I was at 19, than the young lady that I was at 24, than the young lady that I was at 29, than the young lady that I was at 35. You know, so for me, coming into this being, coming into this person that I am, I went through some channels, some that I definitely did not want to go through, and some I was not prepared, but I was, though. I wasn't prepared because I told myself that I wasn't prepared, but God already knew that I was going to be prepared, because he already equipped me. I just had to take the step so that he could do the rest.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Girl.
Don't get me started.
I know. Hey, I'm sitting here and I'm in, you know. I feel all of that. I feel all of that. And when you mention, you know, you're no longer comfortable accepting, you know, change, pennies, you know, from these companies, you know, pharma companies and these big, you know, tech companies and this, that, and the third, for you to come and share such a personal and just intimate part of yourself so that they can make a buck, right? So that they can make a buck. That speaks to your worth, knowing your worth, you know, and that is something that at Creative on Purpose, this is something that we want to encourage. This is something that we push. Learn who you are and what you are, what you're made of, and stand on that, right? Stand on the shoulders, the strongest shoulders, you know, that came before us, of course, but get to know you and the amazing you that you are and know your worth. And don't be taking no damn chump change in whatever form that is from nobody, right? From
Period.
nobody. Yeah. So you
Period.
definitely, hey, hey,
Period.
you definitely like hit on that. Um, so tell us a little bit about Openly Positive. Like what do you guys do there? You know, talk to us a
Absolutely.
little about that.
Absolutely. So Openly Positive is one of the homes to our bigger umbrella, which is Miss Misha's World of Empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
So Openly Positive is under the Miss Misha's World brand. And our mission is to eradicate stigma through surrounding, through, no, our mission is to eradicate stigma, right, in the HIV/AIDS community by
Mm-hmm.
empowering people living with HIV to live a proactive life and not a life of fear. So that's our mission,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our vision in Openly Positive is to gear to empower lives of people living with HIV by offering them a holistic approach to living a stigma-free lifestyle.
Mm.
So that's the mission and vision of Openly Positive.
Yeah.
But I am also a licensed life coach, a certified life coach. I'm
Mm-hmm.
also a certified HIV testing and counselor. So I do testing and counseling every Mondays and every Friday for AHF, which
Okay.
you guys know AHF, AIDS Health Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I do work for them 2 days out of the week. And
Okay.
then Tuesday through Thursday, I work for Openly Positive. I also have a MOA with Seeds of Healing. Seeds of Healing is an organization based in North Carolina, and
Mm-hmm.
they have an online platform for women living with HIV. I encourage you, ladies, if there's anybody listening who's HIV positive or know of somebody who's HIV positive and looking for a group or looking for an outlet where they can commune with women who are positive, I encourage them to join Seeds of Healing and also get on my mailing list at Openly Positive. You can find me at www.openlypositive.com, or you can follow me on any of my social media handles, which is also Openly Positive on IG and also here on Facebook. I have a group.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely going to be doing way more content on my group here on Facebook because I think it's so needed, especially now in a time of COVID.
Yeah.
People are looking for outlets, people are looking for information,
Yeah.
and how more technical can we get? But now, right?
Yeah.
That now is definitely the time to pivot and to definitely hone in on those skills, whatever those skills is, for you to not only monetize, but to congregate with like-minded people and share ideas and just share some upliftment and encouragement. So that's what
Yeah.
we do at Openly Positive. We have one-on-one sessions, we have group sessions, and the other platforms that I mentioned, I also do content there as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. And that's why we created collaborative conversations, to be able to collaborate through conversations with other organizations. You know, we hitting all over the world. Like we are based in North Carolina right now, but it doesn't just end right here in North Carolina. You know, we have some amazing organizations around the world that are serving our different communities. You know what I mean? Um, we don't realize that we belong to so many different communities. You know what I mean? Like if I wanted to list out, I'm in the HIV community, I'm in the black community, I'm in the women's community, I'm in the disabled community, the mental health community. You know what I mean? So mothers, parents, community, you know, and I have a daughter. So, hey, You
We
know.
definitely do not belong to one group at all.
Okay. Okay.
At all. At
You
all.
know, so it's important, I think, for us to try to reach like the youth. You know, we want to reach our peers as well, but the youth is something, you know, something to speak about. Tell us what it's like. What is it like being like a testing counselor? Like what is the, you know, what is the mode people be in? Like I can't imagine, you know,
So
interact with so many
for
people like.
me, so for my experience as a tester is gonna be different than other people, right? Because
Yeah.
for a tester and I can't who's not HIV positive, their response to things is gonna be different,
Yeah.
right? Like today, I had a gentleman come in to get tested, and prior to our testing, I went through my spiel
Mm-hmm.
of explaining what tests we're doing. We do the NST test from Biolytical, which is a 60-second test. It's a finger stick, and it tests for first and second generation HIV only. So
Mm.
there's 4 variants of HIV that we know of right now.
Yeah.
So there's 3 and 4. 4 is one of those HIV variants that's not in the US at all. And it's prevalent only in Africa, but only in white Africans.
Mm.
So that's information that, you know, if you're not in this field, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the gentleman he had a question, and his question was very valid because he doesn't know. He asked, he told me, he said he was with someone who was positive. The person was undetectable,
Mm-hmm.
and but he's still scared. And that's understandable because if the person who was with him didn't educate him, or who wasn't really educated or didn't feel the need to educate him, you're going to be scared. So I explained to him that someone who is HIV positive, who is undetectable and taking their medication, they will not pass HIV on to you according
Mm-hmm.
to the CDC guidelines, because
Yeah.
before they used to have a limit. Now there's zero chance of passing
Mm-hmm.
HIV if you are undetectable onto someone else.
Yeah.
So I explained to him what undetectable means. And I also explained to him if someone is positive and they're undetectable, there's no way he will contract HIV. I also talked to him about PrEP just to kind of ease him a little bit, because if he's on PrEP and he ever have these slip ups again, he would be protected from contracting HIV, because now he has a pre-prophylaxis in his system that will block HIV from
Yeah.
happening. And I also talked to him about PEP in case he ever have anything like this happen. He has 72 hours to get on PEP, you
Mm.
know, which is the post-exposure prophylaxis. I'm sure we're going to talk about this a
Yep.
little bit.
Yep. Yep. I want you to go into that.
So for me as a tester, it's truly different because and he kind of looked at me skeptical when I told him about the transmittable HIV from a person who's undetectable. And I literally had to put myself on the chopping block, because I'm like, look, I've been HIV positive for the past 19 years. I have 2 children. One is 15 and one is 12, and they're HIV negative. I have my children in 2006 and in 2009. So, you know, I am a living proof
Mm-hmm.
that being undetectable is equals non-transmittable.
Mm-hmm.
So then when I told him that, I can see like he was like, really? And he kind of like
Mm-hmm.
started to relax a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But you always get you get different reactions, because you will get the people who's like him, who will come in without the knowledge, and once they get the knowledge, they'll feel better. And
Mm-hmm.
then you'll get the people who come in like him, get the knowledge and still have doubts.
Yeah.
So we don't dictate how people feel
Yeah.
about what they feel, how they feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to them whether they're going to take the information for what it is,
Yeah.
or they're going to continue to tell themselves whatever it is that they've been
Yeah.
telling them.
Yeah.
It's not our job to convince anybody of anything. It's our job to give information and to give education out there, and proper and informative and accurate information, because there's a lot of information out there as well. So we have to be very careful of who we're listening to and what we're listening to and how we're taking in that information. Do your own research. Go do your own research. I don't take things as face value. If somebody says something to me, I'm going to write it down, and then I'm going to go and I'm going to look it up. And there's different, and I guess going to school kind of taught you that when you have to do a paper, right?
Yeah.
They tell you which websites is reputable and which isn't, which website isn't. And we as adults, we have to be cognizant of these things. We have to know that, okay, this website is for entertainment, so I'm not going to go to this website for certain information.
Yeah.
Do you want accurate information on HIV? Go to hiv.gov. Go to AIDSview.org. Go to the CDC.org or .gov.
Yeah.
Those are reputable. They cannot lie or put misinformation on their websites because they would get sued. Right? So we have to be very careful of our source of information and where we're getting our sources from. So for me, I always educate in my sessions, and everybody always love when I'm testing and they request me because it's like I'm human. I love the human side of me being human. I am not the HIV girl. I am not that woman with HIV. I am Thamicha. Okay? I am Thamicha. I am a woman. I am a mom. I am a daughter. I am a sister. Okay? I am an aunt, and I carry myself as such. HIV is just one little figment to my entire world.
Yes.
But it took a long time for me to get to this place. And I think that once we get to this place of we do not allow HIV to dictate our entire world, our perspective starts to change. And then we thrive, right? We thrive and we live opposed to just existing. Because for a long time, I was just existing.
Yeah.
I wasn't living.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally can relate to that. Totally. I am so with the HIV not defining who we are. I think this conversation is particularly powerful and significant because even if you aren't HIV positive, if you haven't received that diagnosis and you still out here living life though, you still out here booing up and whatever you want to call it though, you still need this information.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because you're still in a society where we're all at risk. Like HIV does not, I repeat, HIV does not discriminate. Okay? It does not discriminate. And most of the time, it's right in your backyard. It's not as far from you as you may think that it is. And so I think these conversations are important also towards the dismantling of the nonsense of the stigmas that's still out there. You know, we've come a long way, no doubt, right? We've come a long way from the beginning, back in the 80s or whatever, and it even was before that. You know, it's just when it became kind of mainstream, if you will. We came a long way, but we still got so much work to do because there's still a lot of ignorance out there. And I say that in the best way, you know, with love. You know, I was ignorant and still am to certain things that I don't know about. That's just pretty much the definition of it. You know, it's not necessarily a negative thing. It just is, you know. So there's a lot of ignorance still out there. So talk to us a little bit more about PrEP in particular. Like for those that do not know what PrEP is, the knowledge of that can be probably helpful to them. Talk to us about PrEP. What is PrEP and
Absolutely.
PrEP?
So PrEP is a pre-exposure prophylactics, and what it is, so there's two medication out now as PrEP. So you guys know of Truvada, and then of course Truvada had like a big lawsuit because of those client, the people who was being on the testing who got sick with their liver and stuff. But now they have a new drug called Descovy, and Descovy is way smaller than Truvada, and you take it once a day. And PrEP is for people who are not HIV positive. So if you have, so let's say you have two couples, right? You have a couple, one is HIV positive and one is HIV negative. We call that a serodiscordant couple, where one person is positive and one person is negative. So the person who's positive is on their antiretroviral medication, which is their HIV medication that they take every day, and that makes them undetectable. And if the partner who is negative can be on PrEP, so that they can help them protect themselves, just in case for whatever reason, maybe the partner probably stopped taking their HIV meds for a minute. And whoa, why am I listening? I'm getting a feedback. Do you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
Uh-oh. Why is that? It's like I'm hearing a feedback on my end, like I'm hearing myself repeat. Okay. Anyway.
Like an echo?
Yeah. No, it's like it's replaying. I don't even know.
Technology.
Okay. The devil is a lie. So yeah, I'm here. That's weird. All right. So PrEP is, again, like I said, a pre-exposure prophylactics, where someone who is non-HIV positive will take that medication for as long as they want, and of course to protect them. And if they want to feel secure, especially if they're in a relationship with someone who's positive, just to give them like that that safety reassurance. PEP is like your HIV morning after. So PEP is a post-exposure prophylactic. So let's say you went out, you partied, you had drinks, you had a little slip up, and then this person calls you and tell you, oh, I'm HIV positive, blah, blah, blah. So now you're exposed. You were exposed to HIV, right? You will go to the doctor. You will let them know that you were exposed within the past 24 hours. You have 72 hours. You have a 72-hour window for you to take PEP. So PEP is like your morning after for HIV. You will take that within 72 hours for a certain amount of days, and then you will stop taking PEP, and then you could go on PrEP if you would like. So that's how those two drugs works.
That is quite it's a profound advancement. You know what I'm saying? Development, if you will. The creators, it's like, I'm so thankful that they were able to invent that, come across that, create that, whatever terminology you want to use. Because if there's anyone that, like for me, it's like I wouldn't want to see anyone else affected by HIV in that sense, receiving that diagnosis. You know how to say I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy type of thing. That's how I feel about it, as well as some other really heavy diagnoses, cancer being another one. I got to see the effects it can have on one's life. Someone very, 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 very close to me, God bless her soul, she passed away already, but it's like I didn't find out that her life was similar to my life until it was really, really close to the end. And for me, that is what propels me to keep moving forward. That is what gives me the strength to speak the hell up. Like it's only been just a few years ago, right? To be able to stand publicly and share your story, share that part of you. You know, I am HIV positive. Like that is huge.
It takes so much grit, Krishinda. Not only
Shoot.
grit, but for me, I don't know for you, but I know for me, just by doing that, I felt like I didn't have to wear a mask anymore. I could finally be me, like really be me.
Yeah.
And I don't have to pretend. I don't have to hide. It is what it is.
Yeah.
What you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Right? And for me, that was liberating.
Yeah.
It was really, if you see pictures of me pre 2017 and pictures of me post 2017, you can see the difference. You can see the difference in my smile. You can see the difference in my weight. You can see you can see the difference. You can see the difference of how the pain that I was carrying. It was heavy. It was very heavy. That's a heavy mantle to carry. And I feel like sometimes society makes us carry these heavy mantles because it's like, you can't talk about this. You can't talk about that. You can't do this. You can't do that. And then we don't have an outlet for us to express how we really feel. And then when we get in those spaces, we're still scared because you don't know who's in a room, who knows what, who takes your information from this room and take it outside on the street. And I feel like a lot of people who's HIV positive, who's private about their status, that's their plight. Their plight is someone outing them, which sometimes secretly people do that. And it forces them to become public because they develop this, I am tired of this ish mentality, and I'm tired of living this secret life of beaver, if you know, in other words. And we shouldn't have to we shouldn't have to live like that. First of all, it should be our choice if we want to disclose. It should be our choice if we want to be public. We should never be forced into becoming public for fear of losing our jobs, our homes, our families, or friends, or you know, like. And I feel like for a lot of us who have become public, that has been the driving force.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go into the comments and see if I can scroll and see who we got in here, what we got going on. So I just want us to say hello. We see. Can you see the comments on your end?
Very few.
Okay. So we got Latasha here. Hey, Latasha. Thamicha says, hey, everyone. Khadijah, she's a part of KOP leadership. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Latasha says, amen. We have a Patricia Andrew. Hey, Patricia. Thank you for tuning in.
Patricia is she's my primary school friend from
Okay. Well, she is here, honey. She says, yes, love. Amen. Thank you for being here, Patricia. Khadijah says, yes, know your worth. Super important to know your worth. You know, not just because of a diagnosis, but just like you said earlier, Misha, just period. You know what I mean? Period. Thamicha says, powerful story. Absolutely powerful story. An amazing story and such a blessing to be here. To be able to inspire others. You know, Danielle says, okay, she says we don't hear the feedback. That's when you was hearing the feedback. She also says, wow, never heard of PEP. Great information. See, yeah, great information. Khadijah says, yes, this is awesome. Patricia, she says, yes, I am. Love always. So yeah, thank you guys for being here and tuning in. Thamicha Isaac is an extraordinary being. Just a total extraordinary being, and we at KRP are so delighted to have had the honor of featuring her on our newly, platform, right? Tamisha, what words would you give? What words of encouragement would you give to the young folks? Like, school them real quick. I just want to sit back and just
Oh my
school them
God.
real quick.
So let me go get, so I have a poem to add to what I'm about to say.
Go ahead. Do your thing, girl, because I know you got it. You got the, what they say, the juice in the sauce. So sprinkle all of that.
Not the juice in the sauce.
Yes, the juice in the sauce. I got that from my daughter. I got with these young singers. Yeah, the juice in the sauce, honey. So give them a little bit.
So my little TED talk for the young people is, I know that life sometimes throw lemons at you, and you hear the phrase, when life throw lemons at you, make lemonade. I want to add to that.
Okay.
Not only add some lemonade, honey, but shine that light. Mm-hmm. When people is trying to shut you down, okay, let them choke. Mm. Let them choke on the essence of you. Shine your light and blind them, and do not, I repeat, do not shrink or minimize who you truly are so that another person could feel better about themselves. That sounds like a personal problem. They need to take that up with their creator and figure out why they feel the way they feel, instead of making you feel bad for being awesome. Mm. I'm going to close it off with this message from Maya Angelou. And it says, my mission in life is not merely to survive, but to thrive. And to do so with some passion, some compassion, some humor, and some style. Maya Angelou said that. And I created this openly positive thank you card, which you will be receiving soon, Kashinda. I have your box here in my little corner that I have to send, and this poem is in the back of it. And this is one of my favorite poems, because my favorite quotes from her, because it represents me in so many different ways. I have passion, I have compassion, I have humor, and you know that I definitely have style.
Oh, okay. I seen them pictures, girl, recently. I'm like, look at my chick doing her thing. She better go.
So for me, let your essence be your guide, and let it blind whoever is hating. Let it blind them. Stop minimizing who you are. For too long, I feel us, especially Black people, we have so much greatness within us, and we allow other people to dictate what we think our life should look like. It is time for us to say no to all that bullshit. No is a complete sentence. There's this TikTok song that say F that F that yeah, when they show up with that bowl, F that F that okay.
I love it. So, I love it.
It's just, we're so full of greatness and awesomeness, and it's time that we show the world what we're made of.
Yeah.
Whether with an HIV diagnosis or not, your life is not over. If you get up for the past 15 years every day and you have an HIV diagnosis and you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting different results, honey, that's the definition of insanity. Yeah. Stop the madness.
Yeah, I hear you.
Stop the madness.
I hear you. Patricia says that she is so proud of you.
I know, that's my childhood friend. I love you, Allie Dad. Thank you.
Isn't that wonderful?
We don't call her Patricia, though. Her childhood friends. We don't call her that. But that we know that that's her name.
Yeah. That is so wonderful. Listen, like, this was just a great way to start the month of March, which is Women's History Month. Definitely. I want you to once again just share with the people, how can they support you? How can they reach you if they wanted to kind of ask questions or get involved with the work that you're doing? Kind of lay that out a little bit. if my KOP leadership, if you guys can capture some of that and make sure that it goes in the chat, I would so love you even more for that, please.
Absolutely. So you can find me at www.openlypositive.com, just like how it's pronounced, openlypositive.com. You can also find me on IG at Openly Positive. Also here, I have a group also here on Facebook. It's also Openly Positive. So everything is Openly Positive. On my website, I have a donate button. You could donate to my cause. So I'm going to show you guys when you donate, what I do is I send just little care love boxes to a woman who is HIV positive. I'm going to show you 1 second.
Okay. Girl, you're out here doing your thing. I love it.
So this is a box that's being prepared to be shipped. So you'll get a candle.
Oh.
And I made bath salts. So you'll get a bath salt. I made this, everything, and packaged it.
I know that's right. Creative too. Add creative to the list, y'all.
So your little, the little card that I showed you, a T-shirt from a Black designer with an inspirational quote on it.
Okay.
This is a tea packet that I created with different teas, and this is a honey stir.
Oh, nice.
This is a necklace, so you'll receive a necklace. And face mask, so different face mask.
Okay.
So this is all about self-love, self-care.
Yes.
Right? To promote more self-love and self-care, because as women, we do not do that enough for ourselves. We take care of everybody else. We do for everybody else except ourselves.
Yeah.
So I want to promote more of that. So if you donate, they receive a box like this, and it would more likely go to a woman who is associated with either Anya's Space, Seeds of Healing, or a woman who is in Masanya's group called Olivia's Girls. So those are the 3 organizations that I have MOAs with. And these donations will go to those women.
Nice. That's a nice, pretty packed box you have there. So that's very generous of you.
You're getting one.
That's very. Emma.
Yes.
Y'all hear that now, y'all, right? I got witnesses, Thamicha.
You are. You're getting one.
That is much appreciated.
To someone else, but you do have one. Here, I'm gonna switch my camera around so I can show y'all my boxes, so y'all don't think I'm over here playing games.
Misha giving us all the insight. I know that's right, girl.
And you see the yellow stickies that has names on them.
Yes, I know that's right. You doing your thing. You have every right to self-care day, mental health day, whatever it is that you need to take today. Take your time, keep shining your light, and again, your work, your service, your compassion is very much appreciated, and that's personally, you know what I mean, because we share that same passion for the community. My leadership team has put some contact information for you in the chat. Thank you guys for doing that.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Yes, we are coming.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And I look forward to watching the replay.
Of course. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of the replay. This will probably go up on our Collaborative Conversations YouTube channel as well.
And I'll reshare it. So once you guys put it up, I'll put it on my website, and I'll reshare it on my YouTube channel as well.
Okay, awesome. That's what it's about. Collaborating. Listen to this, y'all. Collaboration over competition. It works better every time. Trust, right? And that's what KOP is all about. We want to collaborate. We don't need to compete with anyone. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of service out there going on, a whole lot of amazing leaders and stuff. And we just joining in. You know,
Absolutely.
we joining in the fight because we need it. That's how great the need is out there for services, especially in our Black communities, in our underserved communities, our under-resourced communities, our overlooked communities, right?
Absolutely.
The need is great. So join the fight, collaborate, not compete. So
Absolutely.
we are at the end of our hour. Brothers and sisters, this concludes yet another collaborative conversation with the great Queen Thamicha Isaac. We thank you, Thamicha, for spending this time with us. We know that you are super busy. We can see how super busy you
I
are.
appreciate you having
We
me.
can see that.
I'm coming off of this call to jump on another call for 7 o'clock.
I know that's right. I know that's right. So thank you, KOP leadership.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
KLP.
community members. Yes, for tuning in. Be sure to like our Facebook page at Creative on Purpose so that you do not miss our next collaborative conversation coming up. If you'd like to help keep us sustained and help our efforts move forward with providing mental wellness tools to women and girls everywhere, visit our website, and that is www.creative with a K onpurpose.org. KOP, put that in the chat real quick. www.creative with a K onpurpose.org to look us up and check us out on what we have going on. That is all that I have here. Keep safe, family. Stay prayed up. I love you, Thamicha, my sister.
Love you too. Thank you.
And talk to you guys soon. We out.
I'll call you later.
Okay, got you.